What's up YouTube? It's Felicia here and I am back with another video. So today we are going to be doing something a little different, and for more details you can kind of read in the description other than what I'm going to tell you right now. But I'm making a shift to my YouTube channel. So obviously, as you've seen, I've been doing a lot of beauty and kind of health and women things on there, but right now my main goal is to switch my channel to more of a women empowerment and kind of focus in on a part of my life that no one really knows about, but I feel like I can be an asset to, and that is being in the foster care system. So coming to you today, I want to talk about a topic related to that, in which I think will help young individuals kind of think their way through the system, or kind of find success in certain areas where they feel like they're struggling. This is very important to me because I have been successful after being in the system and having had a lot of tragedies and hardships happen to me growing up, and so I still found my way to make it to where I am, and I want to kind of give that back. I want to kind of create a community and an area where people like me, other foster children who former or present, can find a way to kind of join in on this conversation of having more successful foster children, meaning not allowing the system to ruin their life or aid in them not pursuing the things that they want to do in life, and helping us move away from using our life as an excuse. Not to say that it is not a very valid reason why we are where we are, but at the same time, we can make different decisions even coming from there. And I understand firsthand that that is not easy, especially when you have been raised by people who don't care about you or have been feeling unsupported throughout the whole journey. So my goal today is to share with you 5 things that I feel like help me, but will also help you be successfully, more so mentally, in the system, coming out of the system, and as an adult trying to make your way into the world, because things operate a little different for us in our perspective, and it's a perspective that a lot of people don't understand. So I'm here to kind of be that voice, because it's hard to talk about your life. It's hard to put yourself on Front Street, especially coming from ward of the court, because you're looked down upon, and there's a lot of statistics behind it. But I am trying my best as I get older and moving along life to give back in a way where we can lessen those statistics and we cannot become one of them, because I have been fortunate enough to not be a part of any of them, from pregnancy to drugs to alcohol, to college to everything else. And with school's not for everybody, but I made it my goal to kind of get an education. So that is what I'm going to bring to you today. There will be 5 things that I feel like mainly help me through mentally, and I think that along with these 5 things, there are pretty sure there's other things, but having these 5 things will be a start to you being successful as a foster child mentally, and moving away from the ill mentality that you have of yourself or your life because of what has happened to you, not by choice. So if you stay tuned, I'll share these 5 things with you, and when I'm done, you leave a comment below and add other things that you feel like is also successful or has helped you be successful, because it's definitely not limited to these things. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I kind of have my iPad here. If you keep me looking, if you see me keep looking down, because I kind of wrote them out on a note app. So I'll just go through each one and kind of explain it and why I feel that way. I think I'm going to make a separate video on how to do each one of these. It will be my personal opinion and what I feel like has worked for me, and you can make it work for however you want it to work for you. So the first one, number 1, and they're not in any order, just so you know, so it's just 1 through 5, but number 1 is acceptance. And the reason why I chose acceptance as one of the options is because we did not get to choose our life, right? A lot of us are in foster care due to abuse, neglect, parents dying, parents not being, other family members not being available. And most of the time, in a child's case, no one ever chooses to be in foster care. I do believe there are children who are think they want to go to foster care and they end up doing something to where they have to go because they may hate their parents so much or something may be going on, but you don't even realize in that moment that is still something wrong with your family dynamic. There is still some kind of neglect going on. If you feel like you can't be at home, you're unsafe, there's reasons why. So accepting your life, like, I understand that you did not choose it, but as you turn 18, no one is going to care that you didn't choose it. They're going to care about what you did choose and how you are handling what you've gone through, especially getting into college. So I feel like the best way to start out of being successful mentally is saying, you know what? I didn't ask to be in this world. I didn't ask for my parents. I didn't ask for my foster parents. I didn't ask for anybody that has necessarily been in my life to aid in my upbringing, in the sense, besides like maybe a mentor. But as far as people who are supposed to be there and take care of you, you didn't ask for it. But at the same time, you also didn't ask for them to neglect you or give you away or push you into another home. So you have to be confident enough in yourself to say, you know what, I didn't choose this life, but I accept that it happened to me. So now this is what I'm going to do with it. And I guarantee you, once you find that success of being acceptance of who you are, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. Like, once I stopped worrying about, because I know we all do this, all you foster children out there, especially the younger ones, where it's like, I don't want to tell people I'm a foster kid. I don't want to say foster mom, foster brother, foster sister. I was that person because I didn't want anybody to know my situation. I didn't want anybody to know that I didn't have family. And it felt like it would hurt for people to know. But the reality is that is your truth. That is your life. And if we got to that acceptance phase earlier in life, I think a lot of foster children would be more successful because you're not spending your youth trying to protect your truth in the sense of what your reality is. Your reality is what it is, and we cannot continue to say, oh, that's my auntie, or, you know, whoever you may label them as, when the truth is that's your foster parent, and this is my life. No, I'm not saying to always go around say, yeah, I'm a foster kid. Yeah, I'm a foster kid. Nobody wanted me. You know, you don't want to do it that way, but it's going to take time for you to get to a point to where you're like, you know, I am a foster child and things like that. But once you do get there, it is a sigh of relief. It is like, you know what? Like I said earlier, this is just who I am, and I have to make it work for how I have to make it work, because once the system is done with you, they're done. And a lot of foster children aren't fortunate enough to have had foster parents or other people or guardianships who continue to support them once they turn 18. So it's going to take for you to accept your life and realize that once you do that, you have all power to have everything happen for you how you want. You have all power to make decisions for your life. You have all power to view yourself in a more positive light, and other people as well, to be able to get through and worry about the future, worry about that, versus the negative that comes with the statistic that is held over your head because you're a part of a certain group. So, number one, all of you, accept your life, accept who you are, and understand that everything happens for a reason, and because of that, you will get through how you're supposed to get through if you allow yourself to make the best decisions for you by being real with yourself about your situation, okay? Number two, with acceptance comes forgiveness, right? And I did not forgive anybody until I was like, I don't know, maybe adult. You guys, I'm 27 right now, and I still struggle with forgiveness because I feel like I shouldn't have to forgive those people, right? Like, I didn't do this to myself. I didn't ask for this. So why am I forgiving? Why am I, you're not apologizing, but why am I being so empathetic and sympathetic to someone or a situation that I didn't ask for, that hurt me though? It's like, you did this to me. Why do I have to forgive you? But you do. Forgiveness, most of the time, is for yourself. And that means when you forgive, you're able to let things go. You're able to accept things because you're no longer pointing fingers and blaming everyone else for your life. So you have to forgive. You have to forgive no matter what, whether it's your mom or another foster parent or things like that. Now, that's not to say that you forget what you've gone through or that you continue to have to stay in a situation that you don't like being in. Forgiveness just means for yourself, you understand what has happened and you're choosing to let it go. You're choosing to not let the anger, the grief, the sadness, every negative emotion that it brings to you and what it has done to your life, you're choosing not to let that bring you down by saying, you know what? I forgive you. Because as a human being, when we go through life holding grudges, especially as a foster child, y'all know that when you go to different homes and you live with different people, even the act of moving from one place to another, if you did not choose to leave that home, you feel like they didn't want you. We already feel unwanted as is, right? So it's like you go through these things not understanding why people are making the decisions that they are, but it's not really for us to figure out. We didn't ask for this. We now go by the rules of a system, which is also a very corrupt system. So we need to kind of forgive them too, but in the same time, we need to try to get them to change how they operate. But solely, the main thing is because you did not ask for this, you did not choose this life. Forgiveness is one of the most helpful ways, along with acceptance, that you will get to understand and live for you. Because when you haven't forgiven, you're angry, you're sad, you're holding grudges, you're always trying to be in the negative. And it's like, for what? What is that going to do for you? Living in the negative already as a foster child is hurtful enough. So you add this negative thoughts and pressure to everything. It's only going to aid in you becoming more angry and growing up and being that statistic and being a part of the community that they say we're going to be once we hit 18. So we don't want that. F all of them. You know what I'm saying? F all of them. Have your goals. Have everything in mind of what you do want to be. And you say, you know what? I forgive you. I forgive you because you know what that means? I'm not holding on to it. I'm not holding on to it. So I'm going to be who I want to be. And with that, you're going to watch me be that. You're going to watch me be that, and you're going to watch me succeed because I'm not holding on to the anger and the sadness that you have caused me because I forgive you. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to stop blaming people for how your life is going. And this one is kind of big to me, especially for those of you who are over 18, because the truth of the matter is that once we turn 18, we are responsible for ourselves. Now, I do understand that growing up in the system and being bounced from home to home, we are more likely not to be taught the skills to make it once we turn 18. We're more than likely not taught how to be on our own, how to cook, how to clean, how to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, a lot of homes don't teach you that, but for two, it's a check, right? You feel like you're there for a check, you get by, you do X, Y, and Z. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some great homes out there, and if you guys are in great homes, kudos to you. God bless you. Appreciate it. Love it as much as you can, because it is very rare that you are in a very stable place as a foster child. So when we turn 18, and even before that, when we can come to our senses and start thinking rationally on our own, we have the ability to choose a lot of things, mainly the way that we think about things. And before 18, you don't have so much say so in where you go, what you do. But once you do turn 18, when you continue in the same behaviors as before, you're choosing to do that. When you continue to even go without certain things for a while, I feel like some of us are choosing that because there are so many resources as a foster child. Now, there may not seem like it because your social worker hasn't told you, or your social worker hasn't helped you get these things, because there are some terrible social workers out there as well. But there is so much available to us as foster children once we kind of get of age. And I think the main important thing about not blaming others is so you can let it go. And it goes hand in hand with forgiving, because when you still sit in that anger, you still blame your mom or whoever had you from birth, or the foster parents that didn't treat you right. When you continue to blame them, you will continue to be angry and not be able to live for yourself. When you are blaming, you are taking away time that you could be spending thinking about yourself, your life. But instead, you dwell in the negative and you dwell in the unhappiness because you feel like you're stuck in quicksand because the people around you have created that. But in reality, you have 2 arms and 2 feet that you can move and pull yourself out as much as you can and as you want to. So I understand that it's not easy. I understand that it is very hard to have a mind shift when you do not have support. And I 100% feel that way. So, or did feel that way, I'm sorry. So, I get it. It's not going to come with ease. But if I'm just listing off things that will need to be done, stop blaming other people for how your life is going. Now, we know why it went the way it went, right? Either mom couldn't do it, dad couldn't do it, nobody could do it, foster parent gave up. Everybody gave up, right? So we know why it happened. Most of us, right? Some of us may still not know our story, but we know that somewhere down the line, there was a disconnect. And we already know that. So you continue to blame them for what? We know that those people did that. You have to find a way to say, you know what? You did this to me, but it's not going to stop me. You know, blame yourself now when you get older and say, why am I 21 and never had a job? Why am I 21 and haven't thought about anything positive? Why am I 21, any age for that matter, and have not been happy at all since I can remember? You have to want that change. And in order to have that change, you have to stop blaming other people because it's an excuse for your ability to not do. And when you have an excuse to not do something, are we going to end up doing it? No. I want you to understand you no longer have an excuse as an adult to blame other people for how your life is going, because you now have the authority over yourself to figure out resources and figure out how you're going to make your next move. Again, I'm going to say it throughout the whole video. It's not easy. It comes with tears. It comes with sweat. It comes with walking. It comes with bus passes. It comes with potentially sleeping couch to couch. It comes with not having support, no friends, no childhood memories, no brothers and sisters, no parents, nothing. It sometimes does. But you have your own self. And I think sometimes it takes for you to just hear someone like me to tell you that you have control and you have to take control and find resources, because if you don't, no one else will. And these people that you're blaming, they're not going to make it any better. They're not going to help you find resources. They're not going to help you get out of your situation because they no longer matter. The only thing that matters is what you want to do and how you're going to do it. And I encourage you to think about that and really take that in, because it's not them, it's us. We really have to make it about us, ourselves, and make it work. All right? All right. So the fourth thing is having faith and having something to believe in. So for those of you who aren't religious, I come from a religious standpoint. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I give all credit and glory to God for my life and how it has turned out and a lot of things that I've gone through. So when I say have faith, not only spiritually, but mentally, and it's believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? Who is going to think that you really want to make it out? You really want to do this if you really don't believe it? So it is so important to find something to believe in. And the best thing you could do is believe in yourself, so you know that you have control and confidence to do the things that you want to do. Now, with faith, y'all, I can't talk about too much for other people, because when I tell you that all glory goes to God for a lot of stuff that I've gone through and came out on, all glory goes to God. And I don't know any other way to express it, because I just thank God for it. I thank God for giving me the ability to think rationally and make rational decisions, to be able to accept and forgive and stop blaming and do things like that. Yeah, it took on my part to have the mentality to say, you know what, this is what I really want to do. I want to be in a better space. But it also took for God to walk with me and say, hey, I'm still here. I'm not alone. And I got you. So with me, if you ask me what to believe in, it's yourself and it's the Holy Spirit and God, because there's no one else that can move you how he moves you. There's no one else that can put you in places how he can put you. So it takes your effort, but it also takes your faith to really say, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And if you're spiritual with God, I can do this. On my end, I think without God, nothing is possible. So I always come from the standpoint that with God, all things will happen and be possible. But I do understand some people don't believe. So on that end, I do think you just have to have the faith in yourself to say, you know what, I can do this. You have to believe in yourself no matter what side it's on. Because God may believe in you, but we also have free will. So we don't have to choose to walk in that kind of faith. And on the other end, when you don't have anything but yourself, you don't have to choose that either. You can know that that's what you want. That's where you want to be. But if you don't believe in yourself to get there and not act proactively doing things to get there, how are you going to move? Your friends can say, you know what, you have all this potential. What does that matter if you don't have your own faith and self-dignity to say that you can do it? So we have to also, with this one, stop saying, I can't, because you can. It may not be accessible right now. You may not be able to go grab it at this moment. You may have to walk 10 miles to get it. You may have to do the utmost things that you feel like you shouldn't have to do. But honey, these were just the cards that we were dealt. And I keep saying we because I've been there, I've walked this life, and I still have a hard time getting through life with my past experiences. So we have to believe in ourselves. And when we do that, it goes hand in hand with the other three. When you believe in yourself, you'll accept your life. You know what I'm saying? When you believe in yourself, you will be able to forgive because you know you're better than your situation. You'll be able to stop blaming people because you have faith in yourself and you're no longer worried about what everyone else has been doing. You're no longer worried about who hurt you, who did X, Y, and Z. That is just now your story to tell, that you know what, I'm here, I can forgive, I can move forward because this is what happened to me. You're putting together a story that is only uniquely to you, but it won't mean anything if you don't even have the faith in yourself to say you deserve better. And that is so huge as a foster child, because you have to know that you deserve more than what was dealt to you. And you now have the choice to choose your hand and figure out how you're going to play the old cards and make it better with the new ones, but that you create. You know what I'm saying? When we're born, they said here's your first 5 cards. What are you going to do with them? You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. It says life sucks, life sucks, life sucks, like life sucks, life sucks. They all say life sucks, right? Then we get older and we're like, wait, life does suck, but there's a hand of cards that say life doesn't suck. And I want to kind of intertwine those and make this like balance of my life and kind of get rid of the life sucks mentality, even though they're still going to be there, because life is gonna suck sometimes no matter where you come from. But you can kind of tuck those away and focus on the new hand that you chose, that life can be great, life can be good. So it starts with having faith in you. Have faith in yourself. If you are watching this and you are a foster kid, I don't know you. I've never seen you. But I want you to know that I believe in you. And I say that because I believe in myself, and I was once you. I was once in the system. I was once without parents. I was once not knowing of my family, and I know how it feels. But I believe in you because I am a living testimony that when you do believe in yourself, you get places. And I believe in you, and you have to believe in yourself. I know you can do it. You have to put all the negative down and get to it. Get to work. Get to work. Every day it's a journey. Focus one day at a time. Not what's going to happen in 6-7 years. Right now, things are so hard. You have to say, how am I going to get through today? What is my goal for tomorrow? How am I going to get to the end of the week? You know, and then when things come up, you deal with them. But please, please understand that you have to believe in yourself, which also comes with loving yourself. And once you get that down, you'll start to really think of yourself and your life in a different manner and really just live for you. Now, number 5 is creating goals and having a plan. Dream, you guys. Like, dream. Don't think that this system has taken your away the ability to dream, because it hasn't. It may have suppressed it, because it's like, how can I think about school when I don't even know what I'm going to eat tomorrow, or I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be moving, my stuff in trash bags next week. I understand that the system definitely makes it hard for you to plan your life out, because you're worried about so much more. It's such an emotional phase. It's such an emotional place to be, because you're always trying to protect yourself. We feel like we have to protect ourselves because you don't really have one person to hold on to, right? You don't really have someone that you can go to and say, hey, this is going on, or this is what I want to do. Now, some of us do, but not all of us don't. So we're in a space where we have to be a good kid. so we don't get moved, you know what I'm saying? Or we don't get mandated to do something we don't want to do. We have to be respectful. We have to accept how we're treated because someone is sheltering us or taking care of us. There's so many demands on us as a foster child to be a better kid, but not understanding that in order to be a better kid, we also have to have this confidence in ourselves that we have a safe space to do it. And a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't have a safe space. A lot of us don't feel safe. So with that, it's like, how can you ask me to dream? How can you ask me to have life plans? But having those things allows you to let some light in, you know, let some positivity in. You're like, you see this darkness, you watch your life in front of you, but then you can dream and you can see yourself on a pedestal higher than you've ever been, in a place that you want to be, whether it's occupation, on the media, anything that you want to do. You can put yourself, envision yourself in this place, right? And understand that this over here is crazy, but this is beautiful and this is where I want to be. And dreaming and planning allows you to work at it. It reminds you that, you know what, I have to get through every day to be able to get there. I have to do better to be able to get to this life. And it just kind of keeps you alive. You know what? Like, it's often hard because you don't feel alive. You don't feel heard. You don't feel like you have a voice as a foster child. And it's very sad. It makes me emotional. And I just wish that things were different because we're so big. We have so much to say, and there's not many people who take the time out to listen. So for that, the way that we have to kind of keep ourselves sane and in the middle is by dreaming and having plans for our life, because it will allow you to remember that you don't want to be a statistic and keep you out of it. You know, if we just go through life with no goals, you're just going to be floating. And when you float, who's to say where you'll go? You'll just blow with the wind. You know, you might find a man who'll take care of you, who is no good for you, for women. But it's a safe space because he takes care of you, he listens to you, he wants to love you, but it's a very toxic relationship. Or the same thing on the other end for men, finding women and women taking care of them or them taking care of somebody else. There's a lot of scenarios that this could happen from because we just don't have goals. When you set goals, it helps you make steps to figure out how to get there, and you will avoid things like drugs, alcohol, having children at too young of an age, that anything that hinders you from being able to get there in a good manner, right? Now, some of that stuff, it may just slow you down and you still may be able to get there, but for some of us, when we pair things like drug and alcohols with our abuse and memories of bad things that has happened to us, we no longer like are in a good state of mind, because it becomes like an addiction. It becomes coping. It's not a good coping skill to say, I'm frustrated, I'm gonna go smoke or I'm gonna go drink. It's not good. You have to find positive coping skills to know that you aren't harming yourself in the way of going to get your goals. We don't want that to happen. So, my lovely individuals, whoever you are, watching this video, foster child, or even those of you who aren't, please understand that you have to do better. And if you want to do better and get to results, you have to have plans. You have to see yourself in a different space. You have to. Because if you don't, you will always accept the same environment. And even we don't realize when we come out of foster care, we find ourselves in the same environment, potentially with friends or things like that. It's the same toxic energy because that's what we're used to being around. That's what's comfortable. You want to stay away. You want to stay away. You want to be brave enough to get out of your comfort zone and find a way to really challenge yourself to do different. One of my main things I think that helped me is school. Again, school is not for everybody, but I knew I had nowhere else to go. I couldn't stay home. I didn't like being at home. There was no one else I could go live with out of high school. I had to go to school. But also knowing I used to dream of being a doctor and a surgeon and things like that. And in order to be those kind of things, I had to go to school. So school was my outlet. School was my way out in my mind. From as long as I could remember, it was my way out. I was almost a 4.0 student in high school because I just was like, I can't mess up in school. This is my way out. I'll have to be at home, go to a JC or do things like that if I didn't go to school. So that was my answer, and I question you to figure out, what is your answer? What is it that you want to do? What is going to help you have a better life and get your life where it wants to be as you continue to grow and get older? So I challenge you all today to think about those 5 things that I listed and figure out how you can implement those things into your life and see if they'll help you. And then once you've tried them, I would love for you to come back or also email me. I have an email listed below, and let me know how it works. If you also have other things that you feel like helps you be successful mentally as a foster child, comment below and share it with everyone, because let's make this a space to where people know they can come and read positivity and kind of get help moving through their own individual journeys through the foster care system. So you guys, I thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on things you would like me to talk about, whether it's my life story or my success at this point, or just other things that you may be dealing with and wondering if I dealt with and gotten through, I will definitely share as much as I can about my life on this platform. From now on, I am a resource to all foster children, and I will help as much as I can. So you guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos so you can stay tuned. All right, you guys, peace.